I'm going to try to showcase currently what was added to the game at this current date. A lot of the stuff that was added is item related. Hello, this is non-cutting out Quartzi here. You know, it's actually like getting annoying with this, but this is me talking over now. So hey, what's up? Okay, so quick overview of this update is you can see that the character is now wearing equipment, but also this whole update is based on items, which I think Stuttering Me was able to convey. But you're able to unequip items and it changes your style, but this is only for the base robe that you spawn with at the moment. Second of all, there is tooltips in the game, which comes with the item update. I know, impressive. You can see the stats that you gain, and for example, for the Soggy Club, how much extra damage it deals, you know, what its damage output is, etc., etc. I have no idea how fast, you know, I'm talking over, you know, this is how I'm lazy at editing, right? Something that is very important is with the items update, I also went ahead and added the combat update as well, which makes sense to put them together. And there are the 4 classes, you know, fire, air, water, earth, now have all at least 3 abilities that you can use, which I will probably, again with overlay Quartzi here, we'll talk about. But otherwise, you can use items in your hotbar, you can switch items in your hotbar. So if you have 2 different pieces of equipment sitting in your hotbar and you want to switch between them every single time, you want to switch between like a leather piece and a plate piece, you can totally do that mid-combat to just, you know, mitigate some extra damage when you think the enemy is going to attack you or you're going to take a hit. Just quickly swap to that plate and then swap off again. You know, that is totally something that is capable of doing at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that or not, but otherwise, yeah, this update is mainly about combat and items. It's actually not that much, but you'll see what's happening. All right, this is me showcasing the fire elemental. The fire elemental currently has 4 abilities. He has a stab ability to attack with his dagger, fireball, which is a projectile, fire blast, which is also a projectile, and flaming volley is a close combat melee ability. I am only capable of showing 2 abilities due to the character not having enough mana, but that's fun in my opinion. So the 2 abilities, which also will showcase the basics of combat and how it works, is when you first make your fire character, you will have on your left click slot the stab ability, which is a close combat melee ability that if you are in front of the target, you will deal damage. Now, of course, you do not need to have the target selected to deal damage. You can basically not see me dealing damage, but I am dealing damage to the target. But yes. Then we come to projectiles, and projectiles are quite unique here, as this game does not really take targeting too serious, except for projectiles. People that use projectiles are gonna love this and are more or less required to do this. And I added a mechanic that I call kind of like a hit window. So if you have your if you aim too far, like if the target is not in front of you at all, but you have the target selected, right, the projectile will just shoot forward. Good enough. But you're like, but the target is on a completely different layer than me. How am I gonna hit him when he's above? This is where the whole targeting idea comes into play, and this hit window. Now, there are 2 parts to this hit window. Number 1, it is the angle that you're looking at the target. So there's this specific box where you can be in, where the enemy has to be in for you to be able to target them and to be in the hit window, and a distance. So every specific ability will have also a different distance for exactly this mechanic to work. Now, for this mechanic to work as well, you need to have the target that you want to hit targeted, which in this case, if I target myself, nothing will happen. I will just shoot straight. But as you see, when I target the queen and shoot, oh, look at that. The projectile went towards the queen. And this is specifically only for projectiles, because aiming with projectiles in a game like this is definitely really, really hard, but it's not made easy as well, because for example, if you're in close combat and stuff like that, and then, you know, the person goes next to you or to the side, you're going to miss your projectile regardless, right? You have to make sure that they are in front. And there, as I've mentioned, there's this hit window. So if I go further to the side, you can see I was still able to hit, but if I go even more to the side, the projectile will just go straight. So that is what this hit window is. Same with distance. I can aim perfectly on the target. Okay, this projectile has a lot of range. But yeah, if I go further away and have the target in front of me, perfectly aimed in front of me, it will just go straight because I'm too far away. Here, I should have stood here. Here it'll work again. So yeah, that is the Fire Elementalist. Now we got the Air Elementalist, which is kind of the you know, the sneaky guy that is usually in the back, but you know, he has some little sneaky tricks behind his back. So this is where the hit window kinda is quite important, and it's because of one of his abilities. So the first ability that he has is auto. Projectile doesn't take any mana, but just deals normal moderate damage. Then we got Precise Shot. Precise Shot requires you to precisely aim to a specific degree, obviously, on the target for it to hit. But the great thing about Precise Shot is you can shoot it from a great far distance away, and it is quite fast. That was not Precise Shot. That was a different ability. Let me do this again. There we go. Hit the target very, very fast from a very far distance away. Now to the ability that I accidentally casted. This should be Sup and Sting. As you can see, there is a debuff, which there is no tooltip for it yet, but it does decrease mana regeneration and health regeneration. So that is quite good for attacking healers with, in my opinion, or any mana people that like any elementalists that require a great amount of mana. Now we got the Earth Elementalist here, he has 3 abilities at the moment, but one of them is not active, which is the Q ability, or also known as Rock Stance, which I'll get to in a second. We have 2 very simple abilities. They're both melee, nothing special. You have your left click, which is your hammer swing, which deals moderate damage and is very fast, 1 second cooldown, as all your starter melee abilities. Then you got your right click, which is Boulder Swing, which has a way higher cooldown, but deals more damage and has a very high daze time. So this will most likely be used for against, I am assuming against healers. You know, the Earth Elementalist will most likely, you know, run to the healers and stuff like that and keep them from casting, taking away their healing projectiles by standing in front of them and all that such things, making them move away from the group. But then yet again, the Earth Elementalists are not necessarily the best damagers in the game either, but they do have their little sneaky little things that they can do. Now to the Water Elementalist. Also, I decided to go in full screen now, or at least mostly full screen, because I didn't before. The Water Elementalist is the, at least for now, the support kind of player, because he is capable of, he's the only character so far that has a healing ability. And the only way currently, because abilities don't have any type of graphics, which they will obviously in the future, is that he has a green projectile instead of a red projectile. Red means damage, green means heal. Very, very simple design currently. Now, the Water Elementalist has 3 abilities at this time, supposedly 4, but currently just 3 because I haven't added the mechanic for the 4th ability just yet. Your left click, so your first ability is just your staff swing, so you attacking with your staff, which just deals moderate damage, not that much, as you can see, it does less than presumably a hard hitter like the Earth Elementalist would, as the priority goal of the Water Elementalist is not necessarily being close to the enemy. But that is also kind of a lie, because now we're coming to the ability Water Bolt. And if you remember how far away you were able to be from the target with Fireball, with Water Bolt, this is the distance that we're currently at. And I believe we were around here when Fireball still worked, but Water Bolt doesn't even work anymore with the hit window. Now, this is because you need to be closer for Water Bolt to work, and this is just a small little thing for the support players to not be like on the other side of the battlefield at the time. Well, that is the idea behind this, but obviously balancing and all that stuff I will be able to see once people get to play the characters and such things. So that will be an interesting thing to see how it works out with having the Water Elementalist currently being more of a close range projectile shooter. And then we have Healing Wave, which is your first casting healing ability, which is just a faster projectile that heals the target that you're aiming at. Obviously, if the target is on the enemy faction, so the other faction, then it will not heal. But the interesting fact behind this is, if there is a target between you and the person you're trying to heal and they run into the projectile will be destroyed, which means you can stand in front of healers and in theory just chug the heals that they were supposed to cast on other players. That is completely possible, and I'm interested to see how that will happen, how that will work out. Oof. Wait, is everyone fire element?
Wait, I can't do damage.
Oh, no.
my E doesn't work.
Nice. Okay, well,
so
wait, are you fire as well?
Yeah, I think Flaming Volley doesn't work.
It shouldn't, because you don't have it unlocked.
Shit. How come you can use Blast?
Because Blast you do have unlocked.
Oh, it wasn't like that.
Also, you have to look at the skill book before, like, the hotbar doesn't like show
the hotbar
which
has stuff that you're not supposed to be able to put it in. And now this video comes to an end, but not with a little sneak peek right at the end. As you can see, the map did change from what we have before. It is turning into what it's supposed to look like right now, but I just want to mention this right now, which you'll see in just a second with a little sneak peek. The world has completely changed in the time. This video is extremely late. I was supposed to make this video 2 or 3 weeks ago already. I just delayed it over and over again. I would just like to apologize because this is not making videos is not really my strength. While I do enjoy this a lot, I tend to put more time into things such as the game itself, or the tools that I'm currently developing to make the development of the game easier, or other things revolving around the game. So please do not be mad at me for releasing videos a little later than usual, than they should be. Just make sure that you check the launcher when you start the game, the launcher, or join the Discord server for updates, because I constantly update on the Discord on the development. The release for the new version of Aukedora was released like a week ago or 2 weeks ago already, before this video goes up. So if you really want to stay up to date, join the Discord and make sure that you have the launcher installed and that you check in every single day. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, no, I get that, but you need to understand that I delayed this video for so long now. I don't even know how the editing software works anymore. Yeah. Oh, man.